Today, we're going to talk about my last two videos. Why? Because we need to clear a few things up. Alright, a few weeks ago, I posted two videos regarding my recent trip to China. And I'm sad to say, I received quite a few negative comments. Like a great big whole lot of bunch of negative comments. Now, it's important to understand, I'm certainly not angry about it. But it's important to me to clarify anything that may have been misunderstood. So why the negative comments? You might remember in the first video, I had mentioned that YouTube and similar social media sites are blocked in China. However, China has their own versions of social media, and their version of YouTube is called Bilibili. This wasn't said to instigate an argument. I simply wanted people to understand the largeness of something like Bilibili, as well as what an honor it was to be involved with a production of that size. In fact, it's arguably one of the largest shows I've ever played. So I posted the videos as quickly as possible because I was really excited to share them with everyone. At first, I received nothing but positive comments. Everyone was really excited about it. Then things went kind of south. People started getting angry, saying social media is not blocked in China. I just needed to use a VPN. So what's a VPN? A VPN is a virtual private network. Now, I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of it because a lot of you likely just don't care. But in simple terms, a VPN allows you access to sites like YouTube, Facebook, and so on. However, I had read that it was illegal to use a VPN in China. Now, I don't mean to point out the obvious here, but I don't live in China. So if I read that something is illegal, I'm probably not going to do that. So in the comments section, I posted, everyone keeps asking why I didn't just use a VPN. Before I left, I read it was illegal to use a VPN in China. I didn't want to take any chances or pay a fine, so I chose not to use one. Perhaps they're illegal, perhaps they're not, but at the time, I wasn't 100% certain either way. Maybe we can stop asking now. I even used a smiley face and everything. But the negative comments actually got worse. People were basically saying that me not using a VPN was proof of how close-minded and ignorant American people are. I also read that using a VPN is no more illegal than jaywalking. I'm sorry, but if jaywalking is illegal in China, I'm not going to do that either. You seem to be forgetting, I wasn't there on vacation. I was there at the invitation of Bilibili. I'm sorry if this offends you, but I wasn't going to do anything that might reflect poorly on the very people that invited me. I was a guest. Why would I even take the smallest chance? And I was only there for 3 days. You can say what you want, but I try and not make a habit of doing stupid shit. Then I put the second video out, and people lost their mind because I brought a few snacks.
Are you allowed to eat jelly donuts, Private Pius?
Sir, no, sir!
And why not, Private Pius?
Sir, because I'm too heavy, sir!
In my experience, you never know what you're going to find in a new country until you actually get there. And unfortunately for me, I don't eat like most normal people. I don't like tomatoes, onions, lettuce, pickles, sour cream, mayonnaise, mustard, Thousand Island dressing, carrots, celery, lima beans, cabbage, peppers, tuna fish, broccoli, spinach, blue cheese, cucumbers, beets, cantaloupe, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, avocados, cauliflower, asparaguses, yogurt, anchovies, olives, turnip greens, peas, whole wheat bread, deviled eggs, rhubarb, squash, potato salad, collard greens, coleslaw. Also don't care too much for soup beans. I basically eat garbage. Hamburgers, hot dogs, pizza, chicken nuggets, french fries, that kind of thing. But you can buy all that stuff in China. I know that. However, it's the other things you likely don't think about. Where's your hotel located? How bad is the language barrier? What time does the market close? Do they take credit cards or do I need local currency? How difficult is it to get a cab back to the hotel? How far away is the nearest restaurant? Do any of the cab drivers understand English? Some of you might not understand, but I've been doing this a long time. In 2011, I was asked to perform in Belgium at the Adams Drum Festival. So I put together a trio with Freddie Nelson and Scott Bender. Fortunately, the hotel had a great restaurant, so I didn't have any trouble. And in case you're wondering, yes, that's Mike Portnoy. The following year, I went to Russia. Rick was concerned I might have a problem finding something I could eat. So he asked the promoter to take us to a grocery store before taking us to our hotel. It was a good thing he did, because I basically lived on peanut butter until the last day of the trip. Again, that's not to imply that the food was bad. It's just not the kind of food I enjoy. Our promoter was a great guy named Igor. He kept taking us to really nice restaurants, which the other guys loved. One of the guys jokingly said, "Steve doesn't really like good food. He usually eats junk, like McDonald's."
You better start frying them eggs a little bit better than what you're frying. I'm tired of eating sloppy, slimy eggs.
So on the last day of the trip, Igor took me to McDonald's. A few years later, I was asked to fly to Germany to perform on TV Total. At that time, it was Germany's #1 late-night TV show. I brought Rick along with me, and we had a blast. It's interesting because even the most common things like Coca-Cola taste different than what we're used to. As for food, I didn't have a bit of trouble there, especially at the recording studio. They had a chef on staff, and he was happy to make anything you asked for. And after the last day of filming, I grabbed a milkshake. Then I went to Austria. As you can see, it was important to make sure that I had my essentials on the flight. This trip was actually for a private event, and while we were there, we did a meet and greet at a popular music store. And then after, a McDonald's? Who would have thunk it? Then in 2019, I was asked to fly to Russia for a second time. This event was called the Dream Drum Party. Everyone in the band was Russian, but somehow we seemed to understand each other just fine. I also did a drum clinic while I was there. Daniel Glass was even in the audience. He had a drum clinic the following day, so he invited us along. We even had dinner together. It was one of those nice restaurants, but I pretended to like it. Like I said, depending on where you're at in the world, you just don't know what's there until you actually get there. Now, I do understand a lot of you don't know me, so you might not understand my sense of humor. But I just can't believe that so many of you actually got upset over a bag of junk food.
Then why did you hide a jelly donut in your footlocker, Private Pile?
Sir, because I was hungry, sir.
Because you were hungry.
I even said multiple times in both videos how great the people were and how much we enjoyed it. And I said that because it was true. But you actually got angry over a box of Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts! Just imagine what would have happened if I had brought a cheesecake. Some of you people would have just shit. So this brings up the big question. After reading the comments, would I go back to China? And the answer is absolutely, without any question. In fact, I'm very much looking forward to the opportunity to go back. People treated us beautifully, and that's the truth. Not just the people at Billy Billy, but everyone. The entire staff at the hotel was kind to us. Even random people in the elevators would smile. Not a single person in the hotel restaurant could speak English, but they were kind. Now, am I going to bring a food bag next time? No, I don't believe I will. I've seen China for myself, at least a small part of it. So I now have a better idea of what's actually there. They have markets everywhere, and most of it's very similar to what I'm used to. Now, this is going to sound like I'm making this up, but I swear this is the truth. The only person that did not treat us well was the lady at McDonald's.
You better start frying them eggs a little bit better than what you're frying. I'm tired of eating sloppy, slimy eggs.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. I really do hope that helped to clear a few things up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. And for those interested in merchandise, you can pick that up at store.themaddrummer.com. Thanks for watching. Oop. Whoop. There's a little bitty one there. Whoop. But I wasn't going to do anything. Squeak there. You squeaked. You squeaked. But I try and not make a habit of doing stupid shit. I spit for God's sakes. Did you see it? It went cooking. It went cooking. And if you haven't already subscribed, probably best to just keep it that way.